Hey there, I'm Mr. Know-It-All, the lead swing trading analyst trader at Swing Trade Pros, the #1 swing trading and bot community in the world. And I genuinely want to help you make your mark in the thrilling world of swing trading cryptocurrency. I've been trading since 2017 and I've taught myself many different trading strategies, patterns. I'm known for the falling wedge pattern, as you guys might know. I've dedicated my life to mastering these types of structures and patterns, and now my goal is to impact the lives of 1 million of you. You heard that right. My goal is to impact 1 million people this bull cycle. Let that be you. Cryptocurrency markets can be a roller coaster ride, full of ups and downs. But through swing trading, I've discovered a strategy that can truly make a difference. I've poured countless hours to studying the intricacies of falling wedge patterns, rising wedge patterns, you name it, and it has become my area of expertise. Here's the thing. I genuinely want to see you thrive in this market. That's why I've made it my mission to impact 1 million of you. I want to provide you with the tools, insight, and support you need to navigate this exciting but challenging landscape. Swing trading is not just about technical analysis. It's about understanding market psychology and developing disciplined risk management strategies. I'll be there to guide you step by step as we identify different types of patterns and structures and seize profitable opportunities. Together, we'll build your confidence in trading skills, ensuring you're well prepared to face the twists and turns of swing trading. Believe me when I say that I genuinely care about your success. That's why I'm inviting you to join me, Mr. Know-It-All, on this transformative journey. Let's make the most of this bull cycle and work towards your financial freedom together. You'll find all my links in my bio. Reach out and let's dive into this world of swing trading. I'm here to support you and your family and guide you every step of the way because your success matters to me. Together, let's make a real impact and achieve trading success.
All right, so welcome back, traders. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful weekend. You know, we saw some pretty treacherous capitulation event here over the course of the last couple days. Man, what a crazy dump we saw on some of these altcoins. You know, to be fair, I'm just holding a lot of these spot positions. So, yeah, some of them just went back down to entries from months ago on these candles, and yeah, crazy volatility. You know, just kind of rolls with the punches on these altcoins, right? That's the risk when holding a lot of these alts. You know, I did say that you know, a couple days ago, like Avalanche was looking kind of weak, and it was in this rising wedge right here, right? And I actually exited like my whole position up here, and I rolled it into a pulse chain asset called Rat Bitcoin. You know, I'm not here to like talk about that specifically tonight, but we can talk about it. I think that is a major development happening on the pulse chain. But let's just cover the basis here of what's happening and what is to potentially come here in the coming days, weeks for this market. So we can see here on the weekly time frame that Tether is now back testing this breakdown. We did get a bit of a rejection here, but I would still say that this is still winding up, man. Like, we just got a weekly cross up here on the RSI. We're coming out of this oversold region. We did talk about this potentially could happen, right? We said that, hey, man, if I was trading this asset, you know, I'd be looking to get along here, right? Like, it makes a lot of sense when an asset's that oversold for it to go back up, right? And if we go to the monthly, you know, we can see even on the momentum wave triggers here that, you know, we're starting to get buy signals. The last buy signal we got here was, or the first one we got here was in June of 21, which was, you know, that first top that we made on Bitcoin. Now, I will say the difference is that Tether on this monthly bottom here on this momentum wave was in an uptrend, right? I mean, technically we're still in an uptrend on Tether, right? But I'm talking about the squeeze. So the squeeze triggered short, right? We started triggering short here. Now, to me, what this looks like and feels like, now I could be completely wrong with this analysis, and you know, we could be screwed, right? But I don't think so. And the reason being is because of how oversold it's become. Yes, we're going to get this reversion to back test breakdown, right? And so, yeah, we could still see potentially a more corrective move for Bitcoin or this market right now. But I don't think it's going to necessarily last that long. I think it's going to be a quick flush. before this halving event, and maybe last into May sometime potentially. And I think we're good as long as we, don't start reclaiming this level here around 5.66%, because this was that range that Tether was in during the bear market, right? This was like the bear market bottom, okay, and we broke that, right? And now we're now back testing the level for the continuation of a bull market. And the reason why I don't think that we're going to see Tether really, just snap back into this range, so to speak. I mean, it can very well happen. We could see a bloodbath for a bit. I mean, it's totally possible. We could see, 40 something $1,000 Bitcoin again. Like, I'm not in the camp of saying, hey, that can't happen. But I am in the camp of saying that as long as Bitcoin remains above 60K right now, I think we are okay from a technical point of view. Even if we do see a $52,000 Bitcoin, I still don't think we're in jeopardy of a continuation later on in the year. Because like if we zoom out to like the quarterly chart, we can see, for example, that the MACD on the quarterly is still crossed down, right? So this means to me, yeah, I mean, shorter time scale, weekly, maybe even 2 week or even monthly, okay, is telling or suggesting that, this is going to come back up. And we're seeing it come back up, right? And these altcoins are going to get probably, slapped around a lot for a bit. And yeah, we're still in the bounds of this. I would call this still a bear flag, okay? Does this mean that this can't continue higher? No, it definitely means it can continue higher, because that weekly RSI is still Rec City, and we have like weekly bullish divergence that's taking form here, right? And so that's kind of what we're seeing play out, and we're seeing a lot of these assets lose value against the dollar right this very moment. And yeah, I don't think that this is done by any means until we really get a confirmation or a rejection candle to kind of illustrate that. So yeah, we're back testing this breakdown. And if it succeeds to break back above this range, well, that could spell some trouble. All right. And the longer term timescales are kind of suggesting that could happen. So, kind of trade safe, guys, and just, either wait for confirmation lows or buy these crashes and just dollar cost average your positions all down some more. I'm kind of just in a holding pattern. I'm not really doing anything right now. I just want to see what happens in this market. Yeah, here's total, kind of getting rejected here at pretty close to the all-time high level. And this is probably going to come back down with the rest of the market. And overbought, right? Overbought stuff. We got back into bullish control zone here on the weekly. Yeah, losing some weekly momentum here. Monthly chart. Yeah, I mean, getting up there, right, on the momentum waves. We didn't really kind of trigger, a sell signal just yet on the monthly, but yeah, that weekly is going to get a reset, and we're going to see pullback in the market. And so that's kind of what I'm alluding to right now, is that that could potentially happen. And the reason why I don't think that this bull run is over is because we haven't even had the halving yet, right? Like, we haven't even had the halving. This is going to be probably a pretty nasty drawdown before the halving here, and maybe even after, even maybe just after the halving. I would say probably for the next few weeks, maybe month, we could see some nasty price action to the downside. All right. Let's take a look at, I want to show you guys one thing that I thought was really interesting, was the M2 chart, the M2 money supply. I forget what the chart is. Man, I had it somewhere here. Where did I have it? Maybe, okay, where I had it. Oh man, where is it? Anyways, the DXY is not the money supply chart, but Yeah, the DXY obviously is going to be a leading factor about what's happening with the dollar. And so, yeah, the dollar is looking like it wants to break out. We spoke about this on stream the other day that we had, weekly bullish divergence on it. And you even have, I think, monthly divergence coming in. We just got a 3-week cross up. This could spell some trouble for the stock market and risk assets if we really see this materialize and really get continuation. But we're also seeing gold break out, right? So the dollar breaking out and gold breaking out is an interesting phenomenon, okay? And typically that happens when, inflation's going up, right? People go into the dollar because it's a safe haven and they want to go into dollars. But gold, and I would say a lot of the metals like silver also, silver's cup and handle is taking form and breaking out. We broke out of the handle here this week, this month. We're right at the neckline here to break on silver. And so silver, if we really see continuation on it, is looking at about a 70%, 72% move. It takes some weeks and months, man. It's silver. It's going to take some time. Slow moving asset class. But yeah, I think gold, silver, and even platinum, man. Have you guys check the platinum chart out? Down here at the range low on the monthly chart with the monthly squeeze. This is looking pretty juicy if you are a platinum lover or you want to swing trade platinum. I think this is a great value area for platinum. This could be a massive move up. So a lot of the metals are going to rally into even with the dollar rallying. So yeah, I'm of the opinion that we're going to see lots more upside in these markets. Bitcoin just got heated up real fast, real quick. A drawdown or a pullback is healthy. These altcoins also, right? They're just going to follow what Bitcoin does. Some of them got more destroyed than others, of course, but definitely something to pay attention to. And if you do have dry powder, man, you're going to get some good fire sales for sure. The S&P actually opening up on the day. That's interesting to see. Not a big open up, 0.3%. We did break this major channel that it was in. I would still say that it's probably like a shorter term sale, like the weekly getting very, very extended here, overbought. The monthly chart on the S&P, getting to these overbought levels here on momentum. Yeah. We also have some interesting news, right? Like China is launching Bitcoin spot ETFs this week. So we're going to see something interesting happen this week. I don't know, man. We'll see how this goes. I know that the technicals are overbought here on weekly timeframes. And Tether is trying to show its strength here, okay? But we'll see how this plays out. I know we don't have like a weekly confirmation or anything like that until the weekly starts breaking above 5.67%. Then we're talking about, hey man, we could be going back into a major downtrend. I don't see that happening just yet, and I'm not here to tell you guys that this shit's over. But I am here to tell you that this shit is gonna get bloody for a bit. It's gonna get bloody for a bit. So I was telling you guys about Wrap Bitcoin on Pulse Chain. I mean, this right here, I think is I know it's speculative, but this just confirming like a 3-day buy signal here. I like what I'm seeing on this chart. It's been outperforming the other assets in this market as well. We noticed it didn't really crash or do anything. It's just holding its value here. It's very, very interesting. And this may get to a Ethereum ERC20 Wrap Bitcoin peg at some point. That is the narrative, okay? And I think that is a very interesting narrative, because if that does happen, I mean, well, we're talking about, you know, a $60,000 wrap Bitcoin on the Pulse chain. That's crazy. Yeah, so the weekly just confirmed a stochastic cross up. All right, a very elevated and a very separated stochastic cross up, and the highest levels of positive momentum you've ever seen on this asset. I know, not a lot of data, but look at the volume starting to come in here, down here. Okay, starting to come in. You know, 4 million, 7 million. It's in infancy stages. Okay, but I think this is kind of like, not a hedge, but yeah, it's definitely a hedge against some of these other assets that are going to be going down, whereas this one's probably going to be going sideways or up. Just my 2 cents. I rolled a bunch of stuff into this, so I do have a vested interest in this thing going up. Full disclosure. But yeah, very, very interesting things going on here. There, I should say. Cool. So gold opening higher here, 0.2% on the futures market. Bitcoin dominance is broken out. Broke a weekly squeeze. You know, a momentum oscillator telling you that it's got room to run. The monthly, well, the monthly momentum wave is starting to come down. So that could be saying that it's getting weaker here, even though the dominance is going up. It's probably going to run out of steam somewhere, and that's when we're going to probably see altcoin season take off. But not yet. We're not ready for altcoin season just yet. So stay tuned. Altcoins are definitely in a spot right now where a lot of them just got really, really nasty pullbacks. But like I said, man, I think they're all in these buy zones now. Like, they're all in reaccumulation areas. They're making higher lows than their swing lows. So, and I wouldn't say it's bearish stuff, man. I would say that it's fine. You know, a lot of them made their major rallies out, and now these were their back tests. Okay, even flow getting a massive drawdown. You know what? It was $1.60, came all the way back down to 76 cents on that wick. A 54% retracement, man. Like, how can you possibly think that these things are going to just continue to go down after a big drawdown like that? I don't see it. The probability right now is probably back to the upside on a lot of these, even if it's for the short term. Right, 2-day flashing buy signals on flow after that squeeze to the downside. Right, higher low than 72 cents. Yeah, man, I know. I wasn't really expecting a big drawdown like that. Truthfully, I was not really expecting something that drastic. But the total 2 chart is still holding its trend. We haven't broke the trend. We actually bounced right off of the major trend line here. That is something to take note of. And we could be looking at a snapback type of rally. If we get that buy pressure. Man. And I think we're going to, after that type of movement down like that. Bitcoin just bouncing right off 60K, man, holding the range low beautifully. You cannot be a bear on Bitcoin until we really start making closures below 60,000. That is the area. And you can see here on volume profile, if they do start to take it below 60K, there's not a lot of trading volume until about, this $43,000 to, $52,000 range. I know that's a big range, man, but this level right here is got a lot of trading volume. This $51,000 to $52,000 level. I think that there's going to be a lot of buying support there if we do end up breaking the $60,000 level. And so far for Bitcoin, I think it's just holding up, man. But like I said, I still think we might see continued movement down. Our weekly momentum, we've kind of lost the weekly momentum. Or I should say we're losing weekly momentum. We haven't crossed down just yet. But yeah. Starting to show early signs of that, right? But some could argue that we're starting to maybe show a bit of 3-day hidden bullish divergence. Our stochastic oscillator is down here in the buy zone. The weekly closed at support. Yeah, it did. Right on support. We didn't actually break it. That's a really notable thing to see. Okay, yeah. But yeah, not a very good looking candle, right? We actually engulfed the past few weeks of price action here. But there was a buyback, right? There was a pretty big buyback back to this level. I would say we are in a rectangle range right now. And I am leaning to more downside because of what tether dominance is kind of alluding to, right? Tether dominance is looking kind of like it's wanting to push higher. No, I don't think we're out of the woods just yet, man. I think, yeah, maybe these next few hours we're going to see some pushes back up and kind of like a relief rally, if you will, after that big crash. But we'll see how this goes, man. Could get a little bit more bloody, man. It could just get a little bit more bloody. Dollar is overbought here on the 4-hour. We could see the dollar come back down to back test its breakout. And that's when we could see that relief rally for sure in the markets, okay? And yeah, I mean, technically speaking, we haven't taken out this high, this 107 high. So there's that. But we can see the accumulation, the higher low, the higher low, the higher low, the higher low. And we broke the trend line, man, on that inflation data. Like, not a good look for risk assets on the dollar kind of rallying like that. I did want to go look at the M2 money chart. I forget the ticker for it, but let me find it here. It's called the M2 money stock. This might be it. All right, man. This is it. This chart right here is the M2 money supply for the Federal Reserve. This is not it, though, man. I was able to get more data on this thing. See if I can find this thing. WM2NS, I think is what it is. This is it. I'm pretty sure this is it. Yeah, this is it. Cool. All right, man. So here we go. The weekly triggered long on the M2 chart. And I would say it crossed up here in October of 2023. Now, if you notice and understand the timing at which that happened, October of 2023 was the bottom of the market. Yeah, Mackay Capital, I am bullish on Pulse Chain PRCs right now. I think they're going to continue their movements. All right, so here's the weekly, man, on the M2 chart. Weekly stochastic cross up at the bottom of a range. All right, we're in a weekly squeeze of sorts. The monthly is also in a squeeze. And your monthly stochastic RSI just gave you a monthly buy signal. So that tells me the Fed is going to start printing money in the coming weeks and months, right? So it wouldn't shock me if we do have these news events to catalyze that, like a war, anything that can stimulate them to print money. I think that's kind of what I'm alluding to is that stuff is underway. They are going to start printing money. And when they do that, we're going to see some lag time, right? These markets got extended. They're going to pull back. They're going to print money, and they're going to pump these markets back up. And I think that's why we're going to stay in this bull run. Okay. 2-week crossing up here as well. Look at your RSI on the 2-week, man. Just crossing bullish here, 52 on the RSI. The weekly just crossed up as well. Got to be bullish on the Fed printing money, man. This is what it's telling you. And that's usually pretty bullish for risk assets too. All right. So even though the dollar is going up right now and we're going to see this short-term correction in the market, I think eventually what's going to happen after this, all this shenanigans is said and done and they crash the crap out of the market, they're going to just rip it out. It's going to take time. They're going to wait till it crashes and buy it up. That's what I think. JTO, man. Sure. We'll take a look at it. Oh, this is a ticker. Jito. Okay, yeah. Touch a range high here. Got rejected. Yeah, I mean, you're at the range low, man. But, nobody knows. So one low isn't a depiction of what this could do. We could come back up to test 360s and then come back down, right? On the confirmation low is when you could be strategizing to take a trade, right? On these bounces, you can't really strategize taking trades because you don't know if that low is confirmed, right? Just because we got a big sell-off and we're getting a big relief bounce doesn't mean that it can't come all the way back down and break that low, right? Just got to be patient. Let these markets kind of do their things. They're going to break back up. You're going to feel like you missed out on some big fucking wick, whatever. Doesn't matter. You don't have confirmation to confidently take a trade, man. You kind of want to wait for that double bottom. You kind of want to wait for that higher low confirmation, okay? Gives you the confidence that, yeah, there's more buying than selling happening on this asset now, okay? That's what if I'm going to swing trade something, that's what I'm looking for. That's why I'm not really posting swing trades right now because there aren't. Like, I'm just sitting on my hands waiting to see what this market does and presents, right? It's kind of a really high risk thing to do if you just take a trade right here because you don't know, man. Like, what happens if this thing just starts reversing right here and just breaks the support, bro? Then what? You took a trade and you can't really manage your risk. It's tough. You can't really manage your risk like that. All right. Just my 2 cents. You guys do whatever you want to do. Obviously, do your own research on these coins, these things that you guys want to look at. What else have we got? I&J, man, coming down to the bottom of the channel, big wick right off the retest of the previous all-time high area. Now, if you guys know me, I did take profit in December on this thing. I cover about half my trade. Yeah, I mean, something like this is already starting to maybe flash weekly oversold on momentum, but no buy signals just yet. But you could probably start to accumulate here at the bottom of this channel as long as it holds. And you can clearly see there was a lot of buying that happened here. Now, it's not confirmed. And what probably happens is we go back up to back test this $32 level, and then we get rejected and come back down. And if we come back down and we make the same low or a higher low, well, now you know that it's confirmed a bottom. Right now, we don't know anything. We know nothing. We know that it just dumped like, I don't know, 40-something% from this breakdown. 51% drop, dude. 51% drop. All right, so we don't know right now. We don't know. We know this. it just touched a previous all-time high and got a big bounce off that level. That's what we know. Okay. I will say the only good thing about Bitcoin here on the 2-month is that we just got a bullish cross. So we have 2-month momentum on our side. Even if we do see a bit of a drawdown here on the weekly here, it's probably going to be quick. But yeah, you can just see we're in this rectangle, man, bottom of the range. We could just go sideways or chop around in this range. If they really want to take this down, we're probably going to go back up to potentially test this 67 to 68K level and reject it, and then take this thing further down because they gotta reset this oscillator and then they gotta break the support level. So okay, something like that is in the cards, I would think. If this happens, if this scenario plays out, I should say, okay. I don't know how the scenario is going to play out. I just don't. But I know this, the 4-hour is oversold, and we got 4-hour long signals that are coming in. So that's going to take it up for a few hours. And we're going to see where they start selling it, man, because I still think we got some downside, man. I still think we got the downside coming in here. Still think we got it. What do you guys think? Yeah, we'll look at the pulse chain assets. Yeah, let's take a look at them. A bullish engulfing on the weekly here for wrapped Bitcoin. You know, yeah, dude, this thing's still looking pretty strong with a weekly stochastic cross. I don't really have any other data to present here, but you know, maybe, yeah, it's looking overbought though. I will say we might have some 3-day bearish divergence coming in on this thing. That's totally a possibility, but the weekly isn't showing that just yet. And you did just put in a 3-day engulfing candle with a super trend long signal. First time ever for that. So, and no bearish divergence here on the 3-day oscillator, momentum oscillator. So whereas we are maybe showing a bit of RSI divergence, it could just mean that we go sideways for a bit or even pull back to the range low here at like 225s. And then maybe we see some continuation after that. All right, and DAI, man, just what a structure, dude. Just beautiful channel. Lots of trading volume here coming in on this breakout. I got nothing bad to say about a chart that looks like this. I will say that there was some bearish divergence here, you know, but it just looks like a big bull flag, man. You're holding the bullish control zone. Again, probably on the momentum oscillator, you're probably still looking good. Yeah, I mean, your 3-day here crossing down. I guess we could see a bit of a drawdown here, I suppose. We'll take a look at XRP in a second. I think that this chart's fine until you start really losing this channel. There's nothing to really say that's bad about it, really. Nothing. Monthly looking good, looking strong. You know, look at that volume candle. Biggest volume you've ever seen on the asset. Now, this asset's supposed to go to $1. So, you know, could take some time to get there, man. Could just take some time to get there. You're losing a bit on the daily here. You cross down on the daily. You know, I don't think wrap Bitcoin crossed down on its daily. Let me take a look though. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't lost its daily momentum here, but you can see that the stochastics are crossed down. But your 12-hour giving you a reset, man. So this to me is telling me that, you know, this is actually probably going to maintain its momentum. Now, I know that all the Pulse assets kind of run together, but if you looked at the wrapped Bitcoin pair versus DAI, which is why I was very adamant about buying wrapped Bitcoin versus DAI, I think wrapped Bitcoin here is about to make a move against DAI in a big way. Okay, because it's down here. We actually just technically broke. We actually broke and back tested here versus DAI. So I think wrapped Bitcoin is going to outperform DAI for a bit. Okay. And yeah, this is why, man. You're sitting down here at 43 on the RSI with your tail end 3-day bullish divergence at the range low. We'll see how this plays out, but you can see today that it outperformed it for sure. Outperformed DAI. Right? DAI was up 9%. Bitcoin was up almost 30%. PUSDC, we can take a look at that one. I haven't looked at that one yet. Again, with the nice long-term channel up here, kind of holding it. Looking pretty strong, man. Just legging up, consolidating, legging up, consolidating, legging up. Looks like some more consolidation happening. If they're taking this to $1, man, then you know where it's going to head. I mean, we could see some of these big drawdowns along the way. This was a big drawdown here, if I remember correctly. It was a 90% correction before it recovered and went all the way back up. All right, so, but you probably were showing some weakness, right? Some bearish divergence or something on your RSI. I don't know if this one has the data, but it's going to follow whatever DAI is doing. But yeah, I mean, here your weekly is very overbought. You could go sideways here for a bit. You could even draw down a bit on this. But I mean, it looks pretty strong. Probably one of the stronger uptrending assets in the market right now, I would say. All right. So XRP, we'll take a look at it. Oof. Yeah, broke the demand line, dude. That's not good. But check this out. If you look at what XRP did the last cycle, it did something similar. It capitulated down to the all-time low and then wicked right back into the pattern and went nutsburger. All right? So, man, maybe we do capitulate to the all-time low. Not to this all-time low, but maybe to the cycle lows. We could see, 32 cents or something crazy where it does one of these and then just rips right back in and then just goes. Okay? We could see something like that, guys. It's not out of the cards. Not out of the cards. They're going to scare the F out of people in crypto right now. They're going to just try to accumulate as much of it as they can while people are panicking and, doing all the things that they want. They're creating all this stuff on the chart. They're painting all this stuff on the chart. All right. But you just need to understand what this market's capable of doing after something like that occurs. So don't be panic selling your bags, guys. Not financial advice, all right? But man, I really do think that there is going to be some crazy stuff to occur and happen. And yeah, right now on the monthly on XRP, doesn't look too hot, bro. It just doesn't. Right? With the cross down and the whole bit, doesn't look good. But it's probably going to bounce here with the rest of the market. We're probably going to come back into the zone. I'm still I believe that this is going to play out at some point, man. So it might get a little bloody for a bit, guys. Just chill. Just kind of just take it easy for a bit or something, man. I'll look at these markets for a bit. You know, just maybe dollar cost average some positions if you still got some dry powder. I know it's tough, but it's tough to want to buy the pain. That's what you got to do. What you got to do. Right, our altcoin season index chart just went all the way back down to 37. We're even back down at 29 now on the yearly. But if you look carefully, we've just made another higher low, right? Low, higher low, third higher low. I don't see this as something bearish going on here. I see this as something potentially bullish setting up on this chart, even though we got big drawdowns and we got a big capitulation event. Jason, this is the chart you want to be paying attention to for the altcoins, all right? Macro cycle target for pulse chain? And I don't know. That's a tough question. Pulse chain is wicking right down to the trend line, man, and back testing the break area here. Pulse chain's probably a buy, man. If I had to guess right here, a bounce off that low, that retest of the range. You know, looking oversold on the daily now. Got to be in the zone, man. This has got to be the zone. Not financial advice, of course, but man, you know, after a big drawdown like that, you know, you could be forming some sort of wedge pattern here, right? At the range low. Did about a 78.6% retracement in a value zone, right? You got this big breakout. You got, I mean, I don't know if this is all the data on Pulse. Let me try to find a better chart. Oh, what? They have it on Gold Pulse or something, right? Yeah. So here we are on the Pulse chain chart. You know, coming right back into this zone right here where we broke from. I have no idea where this thing is going to go long term, man. I just don't. But you know this, you're right at a Fibonacci level and you're right at an area where you broke out from, and you're now oversold in the daily time frame. And you're starting to show maybe signs of some divergence here on the MACD. Okay. Starting to show it. So like maybe you go to your 12-hour chart and you can really start to see it forming there. All right. Like, this is probably not a bad area to accumulate pulse chain. Just probably not a bad area because of what the chart's telling you. Okay. Cool. Hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm one of the best PA guys in crypto. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, I'm not really good with the whole like advertising thing, man. But if you want to help me do it, dude, and blow me up on Twitter, man, that'd be sick. And I wouldn't mind, helping you out in some way if it helped me out, if you get what I mean. If any of you guys are good at that Twitter stuff and you want to help me get out there, that'd be awesome. I appreciate it. I'm just a busy guy. I like to just do the charts, man, and just that's what I like to do, and that's where I like to focus. So I'm not a shiller. I don't like to boast about what I do or anything like that. I just tell it like it is, man. And some people like it, some people don't like it. Not everything I talk about always plays out either. Usually you get, there's probabilities to these things playing out, and I just trade the probabilities as best as I can, and hopefully we have some success doing that, because that's what this is just a lot of it's just math, and people don't really like to understand that or like that or see that, and that's kind of where a lot of people fail. They just get too greedy and they don't de-risk when they need to de-risk, and then they think it's just going to do some things that are unprecedented, which sometimes that happens though. This is crypto. Anything's possible in crypto, but when assets go into price discovery, we use Fibonacci because that's the only thing we can go by, right? So if this asset goes into price discovery, we're looking at 5291 as our next major fib target, which from here is about a almost 6x. All right. And if we break the 1272, we're looking at the 1414, and that's about a 7x. And if we go to the 1618, that's about a 12x from here. So that's it. And in terms of the range, the bottom of the range to the top of the range is a 763% move. So if you break the range on something like this, okay, if you end up breaking this range, you're looking at about a 763% measured move. Now, does it mean it's going to do the whole move? No. Does it mean it can do half the move? Typically. So I would say this right now, with the information that I have on this chart, if this plays out and this breaks out, I'm targeting the 1272 to the 1414 fib extension until I see more information on the chart. That's it. That's it. Bitcoin is a completely different ballgame, right? Because this one, okay, even if this thing doesn't get to peg or anything like that, the narrative about it going to peg, we don't know. But what we do know is that there is a wick high here at the 1618 at $2,500. So looking at these order blocks, as long as we can take out this 350 zone, and obviously we got this crazy wick the other day up to 420, there's nothing here on the chart, man. There's no resistance. That's why we use Fibonacci, right? This thing wicks up to $2,500, man. What's up here? What's above that? $8,000. What's above that? $20,000. What's above that? 32. There's nothing here. Nothing here. Absolutely nothing there. So if this thing is going to play out to its narrative, which is peg to the wrapped ether on or wrapped Bitcoin on the Ethereum chain, well, that's essentially emulating what real Bitcoin is trading at. That's a no-brainer trade, man. Like, F all trading all these stupid meme coins or all these other speculative things. If this thing is going to be set out to peg to wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum chain, then man, why wouldn't you want to be buying $300 Bitcoin? Like, that's what this is, or that's what it's perceived to be. That's just my opinion, and I'm also I mean, this is pretty clear, dude. Like, we got a weekly stochastic cross. We got momentum building on the weekly MACD. We got the only thing that's detriment here is the RSI, but the RSI on the weekly time frame, yeah, it's got overbought. Okay, So what does that mean? We can just go sideways and consolidate up here? Yeah, that's what that means. It can consolidate up here. Fine. Consolidate. This looks a lot better than most of these other assets that are getting absolutely destroyed right now, okay? I'd rather have my money in something that is potentially going to do the things I just talked about than speculate them making new all-time highs or speculate them, being the next real big thing in crypto. We know Bitcoin's the thing. It's the thing. So, and the DAI narrative is also it's a great narrative. This plays out. This chart looks amazing too, man. I got nothing bad to say about the DAI chart. Aside from it, making lower highs up here, that's a bit of a concern. But, aside from that, your weekly closure wasn't terrible. You still got a weekly bullish engulfing candle. You're just ping-ponging between these two, median, middle of the range type of fib extensions that we got here from this swing high to this swing low. Your weekly stochastic is still crossed up. Your momentum is still building. You got lots of separation on it. This is still telling me, even though it's extremely overbought, it is very overbought on the weekly. But you know what? We can just go sideways, man. And maybe get a reset, maybe get a pullback, a little bit of a pullback or something. Maybe it does retest, the fours or something, and then just whipsaws and just goes, man. Why not? This chart is not in jeopardy of a breaking of an uptrend right now. It's just not. In fact, it looks pretty effing bullish. Looks really good, man. Looks really good on the chart. 4 hours telling you now, hey, man, we could have just got a reset. And we're going to get another attempted push here. Making higher lows. Attempted to break this, didn't break it. Okay. It tried, but it's still holding the range low too. It's not just breaking lows. Nothing bad about this chart, guys. Remember that, just always remember that, if the asset's continuing to make higher highs and higher lows, or is ranging in an area where it's been previously respected as support, that's not bad. It's not a bad thing. Like even here, when it was doing this, it still held the range. It just held the range and then broke it. It took some time to break this range, and this might take some time to break this range. All right. Cool, guys. Appreciate your time coming on here and hanging out with me while I BS about some of these charts, and stay strong throughout this this dip, man. I think there's just a big shakeout, and that's all I think it is. I just think it's going to be a big shakeout. I don't think we're going into a bear market right now. I just think it's just going to be a shake. That's it. Like, here's your quarterly on ETH, man. This just gave you a quarterly buy signal. 2-month buy signal. Monthly's up here. So yeah, like maybe like a nice pullback on ETH or something. Okay. Spook these markets out. Yeah, spook them out, man. People are gonna get spooked out, especially after the volatility we just saw the other day. Definitely, without a doubt. I think this draws down to the bottom of the channel. We could see a $2,500 ETH. Why not? 2,500. That would be a great area for it to get to, and still be in an uptrend. And that would be that area right there, right? We got to resistance. We're pulling back. That's it. Just get a reset, man. Get a reset on this oscillator. Get the pullback. Spook the market out. People are going to be dumping their bags to the major institutions that are wanting to scoop this shit up because they know what's happening after the halving. They know. They're painting the chart. All right. Looks like I'm losing some viewers, man. But thank you guys so much for joining. We'll catch you guys in the next week's stream, and stay strong, man. We're gonna see some drawdowns. Trade safely. Don't do anything panicky if you don't need to. That's all I gotta say. I'm just holding. That's it. That's all I'm doing, man. I'm just holding strong. And if I do get some extra capital to DCA into some of these positions, I will. But I'm at the point where I'm pretty much tapped out. I'm just going to be chilling. I'm just going to wait for these things to play out. That's it. All right, guys. Trade safe, and we'll catch you guys next week. Have a wonderful week, everybody.